everyone, and welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark. I am Tom Connors. This is the last MEAD of the year.
What?
Welcome. That's
This is
right.
it.
With us is 70s rock fan. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing very well, sir. Thank you for
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear
having
it.
me on again.
And we also have with us Clobbering Times. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, well, sir, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure and honor to be here. Good to see you and my buddy 70s and the wonderful friends in the chat. Hope you all had a great Christmas and have a great New Year.
Well, we're always glad to have you. Yeah, who knows who else will show up, but we'll see on that. But welcome everybody in the chat. We already got a super chat to kick things off. Tiger Valley sent one in. Thank you so much. Sends in 35 South African rands and got a very pretty tiger picture there. Says, Happy New Year, guys. It's been a while since I've managed to catch you live. Well, thank you for being here. MEAD is 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. and Midnight's Edge in the morning is during a heavenly inconvenient time for me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Tiger Valley. Hopefully you at least get to check out the replays, but we're glad to have you here live, which means you must have a night off. That's always a good thing.
Yeah,
hopefully that's the case. Good. And then Dragon Master 360 says, howdy, y'all. Hope you all managed to stay warm last week. Here's to next year being a bit better than this year. Cheers. Well, thank you, Dragon Master. It wasn't a horrible year, but I wouldn't say it was a great year all around.
We've had worse.
Tom. Yeah, we have. You got to admit, Tom, it's getting better. It's getting better all the time.
He likes that song.
It's getting
but who sang it?
All the time.
Who sang it? Is it one of the songs?
I think it was the Ruddles, wasn't it?
That was the Ruddles.
The Ruddles.
The Prefab Four.
The Prefab Four, yes. Yeah. And then we got Beep Bop Boop in the house. Ain't seen Beep Bop Boop in a while. How you doing? Sends in $1.79. Is that how you say it? Or wait, £1.79. That's how you say it. Sorry.
Yes.
What is your best and worst movie of the year? Well, it's funny you ask that because we're going to be going over the box office films of the year and all that kind of business. But let's real quickly pick one or the other, maybe one or two at the most. What was your favorites and worsts of the year? Starting with you, Clobby.
Well, as far as films, I didn't see much,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think of is there a movie I liked this year? And it sounds terrible, but I was thinking about that earlier when I heard some other people talking about this, and this is 2022. I don't.
Well, do you mean just theatrical movies, Beep Bop Boop, or that can be any movies?
I didn't go often,
and
I didnn't watch too many new things streaming. I watched a few shows here and there streaming. And all the movies I can think of, I hated. So, but to be fair, I didn't watch a lot of them. I heard a lot of them. So I'm the bad one to ask, I guess. I don't think there was a movie I saw that I liked this year. I mean, there maybe was, but I have to think about it for a bit. If I hear one mention come up, it might jog my memory.
Any movie also, even if it's a streaming movie, so that counts. There we go. Okay, so that helps. Was there anything you hated, Clobby? Can you at least?
Well, that I can handle. I didn't care much for the Batman or Doctor Strange, and hated Thor.
Damn right. Oh,
yeah,
Batman, Bat Time in the background's agreeing with you.
Of course, I hated Thor: Love and Blunder, and I hated Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And you know what? What did I go see anything else? I mean, I thought Black Adam was just sort of okay, nothing great or anything. That may be the movie I saw at the theater that I hated the
middling.
I didn't dislike. That was the movie I didn't dislike.
Wasn't that the one about the guy that invented tarmac, Black McAdam?
Yes, that was the one. You got it. I know that's pathetic. It's horrible to think that I can't think of one movie that I really, really thought was great.
Morbius rhymes with glorious.
Yeah, it does.
Morbius Hole.
Have you seen Morbius?
I did not see it. It wasn't this year either anyway, but I did not see it.
Oh, did that come out last year?
Yeah. I think the last movie I saw at the theater that I kind of liked and not
I thought
as
that
much
was
as
early
else.
this year.
No, it was
anyway. Sorry,
2021. I think the last movie that I walked out of a theater that I enjoyed a little bit, not as much as everyone else, may have been Spider-Man: No Way Home or whatever, and I have a lot of issues with it, but it was an enjoyable movie.
Did you get to see Top Gun?
No, I wouldn't. I don't watch Tom Cruise. I'm the only one.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't tell culture on me.
Doba Fett's disagreeing with you. He says Morbius was a 2022 release. That's what I thought. I thought it was released in February or January or something.
Okay, like fair enough. Maybe it was.
I could
have swore it was 2021.
We'll pick Morbius on your behalf.
Okay, I didn't see it. I did not watch it.
It's glorious.
But I still didn't watch it. So.
No, Morbius is one of those movies that is so fucking bad. It's entertaining.
I've heard that.
You know what I mean? Like it's just, it is just so batshit crazy bad that you just after a while you just gotta go with it. You're just kind of
So
like,
it was
it
this
is the
year,
room
okay.
of superhero movies. It really is.
I forgot that it was this year. There you go. Okay, there you go.
No,
Me.
I think you
But
might
I
be
didn't watch
thinking of
it.
Venom was at the end of last
Okay,
year. I
didn't
think
watch that
maybe.
either. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad when you can't think of one movie that you really liked. I mean, that's but I only went like 4 or 5 times. So
70s. You got anything?
Well, I can't really pick worst movies because if I don't want to go and see it, I don't see it.
yeah,
So there's a
worse
lot
is
of-
tough.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of movies that could be considered the worst movies of the year that I haven't seen because life is too short. But I do have a top 14 of ones I liked.
Wow,
I couldn't
14.
make 15. I could only manage 14. But if I was to pick one movie, actually, I'll give you 3 movies. So, at top of the list would be RRR. RRR for me, triple R. Phenomenal movie.
Right.
If I was to pick a second one, it would be the Dio documentary, Dreamers Never Die. Ronnie James Dio documentary.
That's a fair. You can do that.
Top Gun Maverick. I loved that very much. And then it starts to get into, well, you know, there's a few that are kind of, well, I'd say if I was to pick a fourth one, it'd probably be the Korean movie, The Roundup, because that was a brilliant movie. Just saw that recently, so.
Yeah.
There you go. The rest is all, yeah, All Quiet in the Western Front was good. Yeah, it was a good movie.
I've heard that one come up quite often.
Yeah, I would say that's the top 5. That would be my top 5.
Of course, I bought Morbius on
Did you
4K
really?
Blu-ray. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Morbidius,
You really
it should
liked
be
it.
called, really.
You really
Morbidius.
like that.
I only watched it once. That's the only time I just buy movies. But no, I agree with you guys. Like this year was one of those years. Like if 1982 was one of those great years in classic cinema, and 1992 wasn't too bad. 2002 was pretty decent too, from my recollection. There was some decent ones there.
I'm impressed you could.
2012, I'm stretching to remember anything good, but this year,
I can think of a few things from almost every year, just about.
Yeah, this movie here has been just a bad year for movie. Just almost everything across the board, aside from Beavis and Butthead was my favorite movie of the year.
Oh, that was the movie. Then I count that one. Loved it. That's my favorite.
Loved it. It came out. Yeah, I think it came out. What was it? Summertime or early spring?
It was on streaming, but if you're counting it,
yeah,
boom.
that's what they said. Any movie, and that's what I'm counting too. Is I'm counting that, and I loved.
Yeah,
and I loved Samaritan, even though some people didn't. I thought that was really good.
Too. Sorry.
I think Dog.
It was okay.
I enjoyed Dog, which was
I bought that one. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's nice.
I got it for myself and my mom for Christmas. I got the digital version, and she got the disc. But
Troll was okay.
Well, Tom, at least you gave me my favorite movie. Now that you reminded me of, I needed my memory jog, but Beavis and Butthead by far is my favorite.
They need their memory jogged all the time too, Clobby. So that's okay. Oh yeah, our movie did come out this year.
That was a good
one.
one.
It rolled.
Wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog 2 out this year? That was pretty
I think that was Christmas, wasn't it, last year? No, that was February. That might have been this year. You're right. I think it was like February or January, yeah.
And
I haven't seen it yet, though.
A lot of the stuff I was watching was Korean or Japanese or Indian, so some of them were older because I'm catching up.
Yeah.
So I can't. I mean, there was another Korean movie I loved called
Northman. If that came out this year, that was pretty good
this year,
too.
but I've got a copy. I just haven't watched it yet.
That was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Emergency Declaration is another Korean movie that made my top 10. So there was 2 Korean movies in there for me, and one.
But worst movies, I see Runner's been saying some of the worst horror films in the chat already. I agree with those, like Scream and Halloween Ends were both very disappointing. All the superhero movies have pretty much been a disappointment. Black Adam was middle of the ground, decent, but
that
was like the least, of the bad movies.
It's the only one I walked out of the theater not really hating, so that's something.
Yeah. There wasn't many that really just blew me away. Bullet Train was a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, that's in my top 10. Just
that's probably as far as if I had to pick a theatrical film, it would probably be either Bullet Train or Top Gun. But streaming wise, like Beavis and Butthead was really good. Samaritan was really good.
The Gray Man was okay.
I haven't seen that one.
That was alright.
There's a few others I liked.
It didn't offend me. I've got Where the Crawdads Sing, which was quite a good drama. Brahmastra. These are all the ones I can think of, to be honest. I can't think of any others.
Yeah.
So there was if I don't go to see stuff I know I'm not gonna like. So,
Right.
or if
Well,
it's gonna
and this year
offend me.
movies came out so quickly, I just really didn't bother because I hated the Batman. Like that had to have been one of the worst theater going experiences in so long because of the length, just how bad I felt it was. And I get it, some people really loved it, but I just.
Well, somebody mentioned the Black Phone, which I have a copy of but haven't watched yet.
I've heard
That
good
was
things
supposed to be
about that
pretty
one.
good, yeah.
What were you saying, Clobby?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you about the Batman. I didn't necessarily. I don't think I hated it quite as much, but I thought it was just so many mistakes made with that film. I'm just it's just not feeling it. I don't like Reeves' approach to the character or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, even though I think there are a couple things maybe a little worse, I'm totally on the same page with you. It's just not.
Yeah.
But we got people that surprised me that liked it. That I would have thought a couple of friends. I was like, when they were asking me about it, I said, "Oh, you're gonna hate it," because man, I thought they would hate it even more than me. That actually liked it. It's a very weird movie that way. There are people who did like it, which is fine, but I was surprised by some of the people that actually liked it when I thought they wouldn't. It's weird.
Yeah, I did like the unbearable weightness of massive talent or whatever it was called. Or the unbearable weight of massive talent. Blah. That one was really fun. Can't talk.
Yeah, it was okay, and so was the Michelle Yeoh, everything.
That one I didn't like as much as everybody else. See, yeah, that one I had some issues with. I liked the special effects. I liked the concept, but it loses its, as far as I'm concerned, it loses itself in the third act really bad.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I've been wanting to see this Pinocchio for Guillermo del Toro too, but
yeah, it's on my list to watch. I've heard good things, so there were a few good bits and pieces. But
I haven't seen Violent Night yet. Heard great things about it though, so hopefully I get to check that out soon. But
we saw Weird.
Oh yeah, Weird was better than I thought it would be, but not as good as I was hoping.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but it was weird.
Another movie that had third act problems. Yeah.
Ruben did mention one of the best songs of the year though. Merry Christmas, Bitch.
I've heard that one.
It was a great year for music. Merry Christmas.
Oh, if
bitch.
you listen to my shit, yeah. But moving on here, we got a couple more super chats. Cryam says, what movie gave you the most rubber band feeling between when you went in and when you left, either for good or had hope it was let down? Okay, this is a good question. So, like, what movie kind of led you on a roller coaster the most? Like, you loved it, you hated it, you loved it, you hated it kind of thing, and then like at the end, what was it, and what was it? Was it a letdown altogether or not? Gosh, I'd have to think about this for a minute.
That is a tricky one again because I don't.
Yeah, it is tricky.
Don't go to see stuff that I know I'm going to despise, which is why I've not seen a lot of Marvel.
Yeah,
I would say the one that I probably had the most of this with would either be the Batman or Doctor Strange. The Batman, because there are elements in it that are like, okay, I could see that working in a Batman movie. And you could maybe cut up that first 2 hours of the movie and pull somewhat of a decent movie out of it.
Right.
But there's just so many moments where I'm just like ripping my hair out. And there was, like I said, some cool visuals and some other shit like that. But then there's other stupid shit like Batman knocking on the door. Doctor Strange was another one where it was like the story was fine, but it was just so dour and drab. Like there was no fun. And it was like, it almost was like your movie is called The Multiverse of Madness. Why isn't this fun?
That's right, yeah.
And then the one they tried to make fun was about cancer.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
And that just fucking failed. So
no, absolutely, Tom. I would go exactly with you on that. Both of those two movies would almost fall into that category because there's certain things, for example, in The Batman that are interesting and were pretty good ideas. For example, making the movie mostly about Batman and very, in other words,
he tries to be a detective. He sucks at it, but he tries to be a detective.
Yes, but my overall point is he's Batman for like 70% of the film to maybe 80%, whereas in movies it's always something like 60 to 70% Bruce Wayne, and you get a few Batman scenes. That's a nice take. I wish they would have made a better film with that with that underlying method. Also, I thought, there's some of the atmosphere works and some of it doesn't. There are a couple of okay scenes, like the scene at the beginning where it's Halloween, so these guys don't think it's really Batman. Then they find out, they F with him and find out. I thought that was pretty good, a pretty decent scene. But then you just meandering along with what you've done to the Riddler, what you do to the Waynes, all these other things. There's so many things that I hate. I can't get into it. So I started out going, okay, maybe this will be okay.
And I like how some of it was shot too, because it actually felt like that golden 1940s, 30s kind of era feel to it.
Some of that was fine, and then it just falls apart and it becomes just disgusting and boring and long, and I hate what they did with the Waynes.
Boring is the most unforgivable.
Unfortunately, yeah, because I was standing in the hallway for the last hour.
Wow. And then I wish I had thought of that. And
well, I logically thought the movie was ending. Like when they caught, like I'm like, okay, I knew, like I was yelling at the screen because somebody yelled at me for it. So like, well, because I'm like, the beat that really pissed me off is like he overlooks it because he thinks that he's going to get caught as Bruce Wayne was like his motivation in the scene. But it's like, motherfucker, you know, he's setting this is a trick. This is all a trick, you dumb shit. And you're only overlooking it because you're afraid to get caught as Bruce Wayne. Who fucking cares? You know it's a setup. And then he walked right into it. And I'm like, this is supposed to be the world's smartest fucking detective is what I said out loud. And some guy behind me said, shut up if you're not going to enjoy the film or whatever. So I went to the fucking hallway to watch the rest of the movie. Wow. I was just getting so pissed off by it. I'm like, you know, he's got a whole nother thing set up here, Batman. You're a dumb fuck. I was already figuring out all these stupid riddles before you were. And now it's like you're ignoring the obvious. He's got another plan. And then, of course, he blows up half the fucking town. And it's like, you dumb shit. I told you.
There's nothing worse than having an insurance policy in Gotham.
Well, I hate that when I'm in a movie, when I'm watching a movie and I'm so far ahead of the movie that you're like getting aggravated with it. Yeah, and you're getting aggravated with the characters because they're doing such stupid things.
The telegraphing stuff.
And not just that. It's like CW level kind of shit.
But that's the way a lot of stuff is now. CW level.
Well, yeah.
It's this stupid like it's this stupid character motivation. It's like Deus Ex character. It's like they make stupid mistakes because they have to, because plot. They forget things because plot.
That's actually really interesting because you could make a movie with a character called Deus Ex, a character called Mystery Box, and you could have all these things in it as characters because that's what they are. A lot of them, you know, crappy writing.
Yep.
I think if I had a movie that I was to say let me down the most, and I did enjoy it in parts, was the Indian epic Brahmastra, which was meant to be, well, is launching a new sort of Indian superhero series. And the first 20 minutes kicked ass with Shah Rukh Khan, and then his character got, well, we think, killed off. And then the rest of the movie was full of spectacle, but really kind of blue script-wise, you know? So it like looked great, and you're sitting there thinking, well, that's fine, but, you know, do I actually care? You know, it was a bit of a shame because the first 20 minutes brilliant, the rest, and it was a bit of a disappointment. But anyway, that was the biggest disappointment.
Yeah. Then we got Stony D who says, Happy New Year. Best, Maverick. Worst, Wakanda Forever I didn't even bother with. Have a great weekend. Hail to the panel. Hail to the I feel sorry for anybody said 2
I sat through
hours
that trash.
What was it, 2 hours and 45 minutes or whatever it was?
I think it was, yeah. Was it about that? Yes, or was it? Felt like more than 3 hours, but no, it was 2:40 something. Yeah. I think so. And it was
I forgot all about that one too, but I didn't watch it, so I can't. You did, though.
I think it's worse than Love and Blunder, and that's close because they're both really horrible. It's tough to choose which is worse, but I'm going to go with that one. Could go either way, really. So yeah. Oh man. Yeah,
Love and Thunder to me was worse than Doctor Strange.
I like Love and Blunder, but Love and Chunder is a good one too.
Like, because at least Doctor Strange, most of it is logical. They do some stupid shit, but it's not like.
I didn't hate it as much as most people. Just didn't think it was that good.
It wasn't fun as it could have been, right? It just had this. No. It was kind of just there. You know,
I think Raimi was too restrained, probably edited.
I even tried watching it again because that opening bit is really visually stunning, right?
Right. Yeah.
But after that, it gets boring as piss. Like after that opening
yes.
bit, it gets completely boring, and I checked out after like 10, 15 minutes again. I'm like, nah, it's not in the mood
that's
for this.
to me that's
I don't blame you.
most unforgivable thing is if a movie is boring.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you can put up with a lot of other shit, but if it's boring, nah. Well, entertainment is meant to be entertaining.
Well, speaking of
Indeed.
that, and thank you again, Stony D, for the New Year wish. We appreciate that. Let me double check and see if I haven't missed any member chats
While
in the
you're
meantime.
doing that, I would just like to say, and this is a very obscure reference, but I'd like to say rest in peace to Ian Tyson, who's a Canadian, legendary Canadian singer-songwriter who passed away today at
Sorry to hear
the
that.
age of 89. Fair old age, great songwriter. He's like a iconic Canadian figure, and he wrote one of my favorite songs of all time, "Four Strong Winds," which is a massively wonderful song, covered by not only his own version but covered by Neil Young, John Denver, many others. So, anyway, just thought
No, that's
Canadian.
I didn't hear that. I did not hear that, but sorry to hear that. And then we also had Jason, who's been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much. And then we got another super chat here from Waltman, who says Cameron cleared up the 2 million break even stuff. Oh, he did. Did he where? I didn't see that. I'll have to check into that. But speaking of Cameron, that's funny because I posted this on Twitter, and I'm not going to dwell on this for too long. I just think it's kind of funny. But according to him, he mourns some of the stories that he won't get to make because of the Avatar commitment. It's like, motherfucker, you had years to make movies. Why weren't you making movies all this time?
I know. Like, are we supposed to feel sorry for you, James?
I don't feel sorry for him in the least. It's like dumb shit. You could have been making all these other movies in that meantime and making something else now. Because really, nothing in these movies, the technology has not gone any farther than it has when you made the original Avatar.
I'd just like to say I mourn some of the time I've lost from my short life from watching Avatar movies. They take up so much time. So long. But yeah, it's...
This Boba Fett says Cameron has pissed away a quarter of century of his life on Avatar. Yes, really.
I know. I just... Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's got nothing better to do, probably.
So I just thought that was hilarious, and I thought we could poke fun at him for a minute.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Although I'll have to look into this, him clearing up the whole 2 billion thing, because still don't matter. The movie still's got to make quite a bit of money.
Oh, yeah, yeah. 70s, did you see that Stephen Greif passed the other day?
Oh, yeah, there was that
Yes,
too.
I did. In fact, I was tweeting about
Yeah,
that.
that was a bummer, too. Only Blake Seven's fan would know that, but...
I knew you would see that one as well, yeah.
Damn,
Still,
great actor.
Yeah, Travis.
Yeah, there's a few
Robert
deaths.
Travis.
But Avon lives, though, so we're still...
Avon still lives, even though he's... Well, Avon does.
Pele or whatever died, too.
Died, yeah. Most,
really?
For me, the greatest footballer that ever lived.
No
the
kidding.
greatest soccer player ever. He died today, too. 82 years old.
He was in that movie Victory, right?
Escape to Victory, yes.
Because our buddy Retro Bus, somebody Michael French just did a show on that 2 days ago. That movie.
Weird.
Now I hear that Pele passed. Wow.
I did see that stream. Yeah, or that video.
That's weird. Yeah, isn't that weird how that shit happens sometimes? It was like because we were in the process of trying to get Albert Payun for an interview, and then he sadly passed on us too. So it was wow, it's weird how that shit happens. Zontar sent in $5 from Canada. Eh? Says the hero took everything from me, so I partied with the hero's mother. Web novel getting a manga adaptation. Weebs keep winning.
True.
Oh, that's the name of that's the name of it?
Yeah, I guess so.
It just don't even hide what it's about. It's like, I fucked your ma.
In Japanese, that's just one word, though. This is the translation.
Wow.
Actually, it sounds pretty good. So
I'm saying it ain't hiding what it's about. It's like, I fucked your mom, bitch.
That's right.
The Waltman 4 says Yellow Flash covered it. It was through Reddit post, but the interview looked like it was from a Chinese site. Oh, yeah, I'm not. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to see on that then. Mecca J says the more James Cameron speaks, the more respect I lose for him. He is not the same man he used to be.
I'm glad I never had any respect for him. So.
Yeah, I never had. I always
been such a jerk.
I don't say that.
Some of his movies, but
yeah, I mean, I don't say I wouldn't respect. I never respected him. I I would never take away what he has done for movies. Like,
No,
he's definitely
good.
one of those guys who does belong in the pantheon of, like, you know, Spielberg's and Lucas's and all that kind of stuff. But
I mean,
as a human being, he sounds like a total douche hound.
Yeah,
he's just to go get. But I mean, nobody's going to take away from what he has achieved, the great stuff he did achieve.
No.
But if he was going to spend 25 years doing something, I'd rather he'd taken the end of the abyss and gone on further from there.
Although maybe like 4, in my opinion, 4 great movies max, maybe if that. So
You're right,
I don't know,
Clobby.
T1 and 2, I love, all that stuff. I like the Abyss a lot.
Okay.
Aliens, I like that, and I like
Aliens.
True Lies.
And True Lies.
And then after that, I can't think of another movie that he's directed.
There's not
that
too
I
much
care
else
about.
I really care about. Yeah.
So 5 movies.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Zemeckis has far better resume.
You're not wrong.
Just saying.
Speaking of failures, though, Bounding into Comics is reporting that the Nielsen numbers are confirmed. Comcast G4 Revival was the lowest watched television network of 2022. I think you guys were telling me before the show it was what, 150th of 150?
150th of 150.
Yeah.
I think 1,000 viewers or something in a day.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Even 149th had 15,000 viewers a day. This was like dropped off the cliff and then fell below the bottom of a barrel.
Yeah.
And you know what? The power of
this
of
is
these
ridiculous because, like, when we were joking and we weren't semi, only half joking about more people watching us than other people. Like, in the morning times, we usually have twice that watching. I've had MEADs where I've had close to that many watching. That is horrible.
I would just like to say, though, that, they're very powerful people because they told us not to watch their stuff. So we didn't. We listened, and so they had a lot of power with those words. Yeah, they deserve everything.
Brian, on the other hand, is here to be easy on the eyes for you ladies. Just so you know, I mean,
Yeah, of course.
That's why I'm. Yeah, that's why I thought I'd come on screen for a while. But,
this is obvious.
Phrasing.
I, on the other hand, stay off camera for your eyes.
This is the Randy Quaid beard in the making. That's what I have to say.
Hey, you're easier on the eyes than Frost, anyway. So there you go. Frost or whatever her name is.
I'm probably more feminine.
Ooh. Wow.
Anyway.
That's weird.
Oh, no. I shouldn't be mean to Frost. I mean, poor little thing.
That's weird.
She's such a nice person.
I don't care about anything about her private life or whatever, any of that. I just care about the fact that she insulted her audience, us, and told us to go bug ourselves, and they're still doubling, quadrupling down.
Of course.
That's what I care about.
I didn't kill G4.
The words that they say, that's what I care about.
Yeah.
What their lives are like. But, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
You are all a bunch of misogynistic pigs.
That's right. I hate you all and don't watch
It's all your fault. You didn't watch me.
And I don't play my games. I don't play the games.
Look, it takes an army to review these games. I don't have the time between tweeting and bitching at all of my assistants to play one of these games. I can't tell you the plot of Red Dead Redemption 2, but I know 3 people who are working for me below me who can. So what if they're white boys?
Well, at least you were nice enough to join us tonight, Frost, and we appreciate it.
Don't talk to me. I am sure you're a white male.
So what channel
I'm
are you
orange,
gonna,
actually.
What channel are you going to move on to destroy next?
Are you making eye contact with me?
Well, that would be difficult because your eyes are looking
That
in
is
different
practically
directions.
rape,
Your
sir.
eyes are looking in different directions, so that would be tough.
Practically rape, sir.
And let's face it, there's nothing below your eyes worth looking at. So,
Oh.
did I say that out loud? Shit.
I work hard to be this flat.
I'm so banned.
I am not here to be easy on your eyes, so stop eyeballing me, sir.
I'm so
Mission accomplished.
Mission
Thank
accomplished.
you.
Yeah. In fact, you are making my eyeballs hurt. It's the opposite of you.
I can't do that no more. Good riddance, bitch. That's all I got to say.
No, I mean, I just feel bad.
The answer to your question where she'll be working next, GameStop.
GameStop.
Yeah.
She'll be working in the last remaining GameStop before
In
it
the last
closes,
remaining GameStop.
and then
Yeah.
it'll
Right.
close.
And she'll be like,
What the fuck? I don't know anything about these games. Mario jumps on the thing and he gets the thing, kid. Just leave me the fuck alone. Are you eyeballing me?
Are you really going to buy that misogynist game? Get out the fuck out of my
yeah.
store.
Why isn't it Mario Sisters? She'd be like,
Oh
And
boy.
they still won't admit it was their fault. They won't
No.
admit it, her and the other
Never.
obsessed
Never
with
any,
There.
for those people. Never anyone else's fault.
Never admit.
I mean, never their fault. Sorry, it's everybody else's fault.
no. But speaking of movies of the year, we just talked about what we felt was our favorites and not so favorites. Let's take a look at the box office and how that report card summed up things. What worked, what flopped, and what to make of the roller coaster of a year at the movies, according to Variety. So here we go. When Everything Everywhere All at Once premiered last spring, Alamo Drafthouse offered special screenings where attendees were gifted with a packet of googly eyes. The peepers were a reference to a central character's habit of putting the gag item on everyone and everything he can. Then Nope, Jordan Peele's twisty horror film, opened in July. The Texas-based theater chain hosted a pop-up screening at a horse ranch in Hollywood. It was a sly nod to the equine wrangling siblings at the center of the extraterrestrial thriller. And then when The Menu, a horror film that sends up haute cuisine, debuted, there's a word you don't get to use too often, haute cuisine, debuted last November. Alamo offered up multi-course of human flesh. No, I'm just kidding. Feast featuring slow-poached oysters and biodynamic wines for the guests so they could dine in style as the character on screen were killed off with panache. We're doing everything we can to bring people back to the movies, says Sarah Petrie, the lead film programmer at Alamo Drafthouse. We're passionate about movies and we want to do more to maximize the content we're showing. It's about rebuilding that relationship with our customers. Going the extra mile appears... Oh, go ahead.
Alamo Drafthouse, I do have to praise them. They are good. They're great cinemas. That was my regular cinema when I lived in Dallas, Alamo Drafthouse. Got a lot of time for them.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about them. I've never been to one, but...
No, they're good.
So going the extra mile appears to be paying off. As a result, in roller coaster year for movies, Alamo is outperformed the industry by double digits. There you go. Yeah. It's a reminder of the kind of hustle that was necessary at a time when the movie business struggled and largely failed to regain its post-pandemic footing. Overall, domestic ticket sales plunged more than 30% in 2022 from pre-COVID levels, and analysts expect that stateside revenues will top out just over $7.5 billion. That's largely due to the fact that studios released 40 fewer films over the last 12 months than they did in 2019. That's all. I thought it was a lot more than that. As they labored to get projects back into production in the midst of an unpredictable health crisis. Yeah, whatever. The drop in theatrical releases equated to roughly the same shortfall in revenue declines. Theater needs movies to show, and for much of 2022, there was too much blank space on their marquees. It was definitely a rebound year, says Tierlach Hutchinson, VP of Film at Studio Movie Grill. There's still a lack of product from the studios, and it's going to take a while to change that. Movie theater owners believe that next summer will be stronger with the release of sequels including Guardians of the Galaxy, Fast and Furious X. However, they don't expect things to return to pre-pandemic levels until 2024. That's a long time to wait for a business that has been hit hard by the extended shutdown and shifting taste as viewers are getting more accustomed to watching streaming services. It's already resulting in closures and bankruptcies. Cineworld, the owner of Regal and the second biggest exhibitor in the world, filed for Chapter 11 protection in September, and some of the industry observers think other chains might be forced to follow suit if things don't improve. You're going to see a wave of bankruptcies, predicts one executive who spoke on the condition of... Now, I was hoping this would actually have like a list of the films. Here we go. As far as the best and the worst of the year. But I think I might actually have to just bring up a... let's see here.
Just while you're doing that, Tom,
Yeah.
just keep an eye on the private chat, will you? Just,
Yeah, sure. Do you have to run?
Just a nod. No, just a nod. Just to...
Oh, we got another
There's some stuff
member,
in there.
couple member chats. Awesome sauce.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And then I got the, let's just take a look here real quick at what the winners and losers were so far this year. The domestic box office for 2022. So far, Top Gun tops things with 718 million in the domestic. Black Panther is a bit behind that with 431. Doctor Strange is right underneath that with 411. Jurassic World managed to pull in 376, but had a lot of luck outside of the U.S. Minions: The Rise of Gru brought in 369 million. The Batman managed to do the same roughly. And then underneath that was Thor: Love and Thunder. So don't tell me that wasn't a disappointment for Disney. Avatar has already made its way up there with 338 domestically. It's also performing much better overseas. Spider-Man: No Way Home managed to bring in 231 million just in, I think it's re-release, or that's the earlier part of the year.
It carried over into 2020.
I think so, yeah.
And still did pretty amazing considering it had been out for a couple of months.
Yep. And then
already.
Sonic the Hedgehog also did all right with 190 million. Black Adam managed 167. Elvis did respectably with 151 million, and I think it did pretty well overall with like close to 500 million.
Movie, Elvis, because I actually have got a copy and I haven't seen it, but I have heard it's pretty good.
It's actually not too bad. I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Uncharted coming in the middle there, and then we get to some of the losers of the year, like Lightyear, and that's just because of the box office on it. But let's get to the bottom here and see what's at the
So Sonic was
bare bottom
this
of the
year,
list.
April, okay.
Yep, that was earlier in the year. So let's try and ignore some of like the smaller pictures and re-releases though. But at the bottom of the list, let's see here what we got. Oh, this is like some really low level shit. We got to go back a little bit higher. A little bit higher.
Emergency Declaration. Now you see that's not a bad movie. That's in my top 10. It's the second.
Yeah, see, some of these might have been limited releases and other things.
Korean
So
movie got a very limited theatrical release.
So I don't want to pick on anything like that. Let's see if something stands up. Clerks 3 failed miserably.
Vikram's pretty good as well.
There's one of the first ones for the year as far as failing miserably, because that had a
E.T. re-release there.
Yeah, E.T. didn't do as well as Jaws did. E.T. has kind of fallen out of the zeitgeist a bit.
Yeah, there's Clerks 3.
Clerks 3 sucked. The Whale hasn't been doing too well, but I think that's only been in limited release. So yeah, that's only in 600 theaters, so we're not going to count that yet.
Yeah.
There's the Bowie Moonage Daydream, which wasn't bad. That was not as good as I thought it was going to be, to be honest. The Bowie
only did about 4 million. Nightmare Alley did not do well at all. That was another one that I guess you'd have to say failed. But didn't that come out last year? So that might have been a carryover. Never mind.
Carryover, maybe.
Yeah, and then Jaws, as I said, the re-release did better than E.T. did. Yeah. House of Gucci, I think, was a carryover.
Was a House of Gucci theatrical? I thought it was just streaming.
It might have been. Encanto was a carryover. Let's see here. Carryover. Tar is a newer one. That one hasn't done too well. She Said was another one that flopped this year. Marcel with the shell with shoes on did not do too well. Babylon is one that's tanking at the box office right now.
Yeah, stinker.
Ghostbusters is a carryover.
Where was Amsterdam on that list? Was that?
It hasn't come up yet,
right.
So we'll have to see. There's the re-release of Spider-Man right there. Never mind. Matrix is also a carryover.
Wow.
Let's see here. Firestarter was one of the early bombs of the year, I remember. There you go. West Side Story was a carryover.
They did a Firestarter remake?
Yeah.
I don't even recall that.
Wow.
Yeah, here's Bros.
Oh.
Yeah, so Bros is way down the list. Yeah.
Where's the...
One Piece did okay, considering how long it was in theater.
Licorice Pizza.
Fablemans is pretty poor.
That I think is still limited or whatever. That's already on streaming too. Here's Amsterdam.
There's RRR, which has only ever had limited releases in North America, and yet has done really well.
Yeah.
Here's Amsterdam right here.
Yeah.
Here's Moonfall. That why they keep letting Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin make movies, I don't know.
There's Glass Onion. I mean, I thought that was a Netflix.
It is, but they were out in theaters for a couple weeks.
Oh, okay, right.
They must have.
This one was another sad failure. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I wish it had done better. Father Stew, this I think was a re-release, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
Sorry.
This is April 13th.
Father Stew? No, that's the Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. yeah,
And
I
I
can't
think it's
remember. That
done
had two
pretty well.
releases. It had two releases.
Yeah.
Here's a Kingsman, but that's a carryover.
Kingsman.
Ambulance was one of the ones that early on I remember didn't do too well. There's the Avatar re-release right there.
Yeah.
Northman was a disappointment at the box office. That one I remember lost some money.
Well, I mean, it's pretty. It's
I said disappointment at the box office.
for
I
some
can't.
people. I guess it would be hard going.
Death on the Nile, I think, was another one that was kind of
A date
disappointing.
movie.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were disappointed by that. Here's, of course, Halloween Ends. That really ended the franchise badly in comparison to what the first one made. Yeah, and then we get into some things like Scream actually did okay for its budget, but yeah. Then we're getting back into middling ground here again. So yeah, there we go. There was basically the report card for the year, kids.
Kind of as expected.
Anything stand out to you guys other than that?
Just certain things that were limited release that actually seemed to do quite well, despite that.
Yeah, you got to also take into consideration the budgets of these things too. Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, if the budget was on there, you would see what the real stinkers were.
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, I was hoping that's what that article was going to be more of, but it wasn't.
Babylon.
Yeah. Well, Babylon was on there, and you can tell, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, months ago, this is from Gonzalo Bergali, who's been a member for 13 months. Says, Congo, Frank.
Congo.
We got Larry, who's been a member for 15 months, and says, great year for all the MEAD channels. Have a happy new year in 2023. Well, thank you, Larry. We appreciate that.
Did you
Then
get
Kay sent it.
There was a
Go ahead.
Jason Fox from 540
Yep.
Studio, member for 6 months.
Yep, got that one earlier.
You got that one, okay, mate.
Yep. And then we got Kay here who says, whispering, if it doesn't suck, they will come. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yes, sir. That's
Phrasing.
Maybe a she because it's Kay, but we're not going to assume too much. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's going to be the key, like we were talking about in the last show with a lot of the upcoming films. Word of mouth is going to carry some of these movies. Could carry some quite far. I think if Mario Brothers is good and a couple other ones get some good word of mouth, they have a chance to do very, very well.
I think I'm cautiously optimistic about 2023 from a movie perspective. There's few things lined up that look pretty good. There's Super Mario, there's Mission Impossible,
Guardians,
which may be the only decent thing left in the Marvel sphere. I say that's my opinion. Others may disagree, of course. And for Pathan, Indian movie, which actually has the potential to be the biggest Indian movie in the box office in North America ever, which is coming out in January. That one, if it word of mouth catches fire, that one could do quite well if it's in enough screens. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a few things
Robbie, anything stick out to you?
Nah, not really. I mean, it's all pretty much in order because I don't go see anything. Only go see
You
comic
don't go to a lot of movies, yeah.
No, according to someone in the chat, I don't see anything with super comic book movies. And I should stop that, by the way. I should stop and just not watch anything anymore. No, as far as new stuff, anyway.
I wouldn't go that far.
Nah. I've got you to watch everything for me. You and Paulie. You guys and Paulie are watching.
I watch all the foreign stuff for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys watch all this stuff.
Gotcha.
There's certainly some Korean and Japanese movies I'm looking forward to, but that would be a show in its own right to talk about those. The Roundup, No Way Home, which is an interesting title. Might get confused for the Spider-Man.
Oh.
That'll be a good movie. That's probably
They
about
used that name, huh? Wow.
That surprised me, but I guess it starts with the Roundup, No Way Home, so I guess you can do that.
Well, they can't stop him.
No.
Yeah, is
not
the
really.
when's Dune 2 out, Tom? Do you recall?
That's later this year.
So it will be
Or next year, I mean,
yeah.
you know.
So that will be a
Yes.
2023, yeah. Well, that I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I think it's Thanksgiving time that comes out, yeah.
Okay.
If not late summer, one of the two. I can't remember which.
So there you go. Got that one coming out.
Somewhere between August and November, I believe.
You could see with that and Mission Impossible particularly, you might see some big box office with those two.
Yeah, there's some people predicting that might do very, very well. Coming off the back of Top Gun, that's very
Tom will
possible.
save Hollywood. Tom Cruise.
Might.
Not with Clobby's money, though. But
No. Okay.
But, you know, he's a big fan of yours, Clobby. I'm surprised.
Who is?
Tom speaks of you highly.
Oh. Oh, Cruz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, he hasn't called me in a
Looks up
while.
to you. He looks up to you.
He hasn't. Well, he has
Well, he
to.
has
so,
to.
So I'm 6'1",
Yeah,
but not. He doesn't call me anymore. But I don't hold it against him. He's busy. You know. Look,
that's right.
we're fine. He's the one. He said, "Look, you don't have to like my movies as long as you still like me." And I said, "Okay, it's fair enough."
Exactly.
I can't stay mad at this guy.
You can't stay mad at Tom.
Yeah,
Well,
I
not-
can, but
Not
never
unless
know.
you're Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Then you can stay mad at her. But there's some good stuff coming out, I think. Is there gonna be another
But
King
Tom
Kong?
Cruise, he nuked somebody's account though. See, we got a guy by the name of Tom Cruise nuked my account,
I
so
know. Well,
he needs to
Tom-
stop doing that.
He's in a lot of chats that I'm assuming it's a guy. It might not
Well,
be.
he's-
It could be a
yeah.
woman. Could be anything. But yeah, the Tom Cruise nuke my account is in a lot of chats, and so hi.
Yes,
Good
he
to
is.
see
Hi,
you.
Tom. So you were saying about was it a Godzilla Kong?
Yeah. Is there more Godzilla activity next year?
There's
More
supposed to
Kong?
be a new one, yeah.
That I would look forward to.
I actually liked that last one. The Kong Godzilla. Did you like Kongzilla?
Kongzilla,
Yeah, I didn't
liked
mind it as much.
I liked the center of the earth.
It was one of the better of the ones we've gotten so far, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that exploring the middle of the hollow earth is
Less humans, more monsters, better.
Yes. Cut the humans out, and it's pretty fun.
Yep.
We need
That's
humans.
why I love disaster movies that wipe everybody out.
And if you're going to have humans in them, you have them be like cute little deaf girls so that you actually care when Kong's like, he's got to kick that fucking lizard's ass for that little girl.
Yeah.
You know?
Can use ASL as well. She can legitimately use ASL. American Sign
Those are the only kind of characters you need. You know, you don't need these crazy moms who are like working with the terrorists and all this. Like I hated that in King Kong, the Godzilla King of Monsters. I mean,
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh man,
Yeah, you don't need a lot of that. You just need
just
big
wanna see
monsters,
monsters.
flattening buildings.
just
in my
yes,
yeah,
that's all you need.
that's what we're there for.
Exactly. And actually, I hate to say this, but I think this is going to be a short show since we haven't had anybody else pop in, and I don't
we're
really
not good
have
enough
much
for
else
you?
to talk about. No, I just
opinion. I'm just
we didn't go on and on for hours about stuff, and there wasn't like three other
Yeah,
people to hear from. So
I think we've covered most of the movies.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a quick roundup. But we've covered most of it. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
been some TV here and there that's been okay, not that much, but
oh yeah.
there's probably a couple of things to look forward to there next year too. But maybe that'll be for the next show, Tom.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully we'll have some news by next week, but I'm not going to get my hopes up too much because Hollywood's kind of shut down right now. The holiday season, they kind of don't work for like a couple weeks. So.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes
There
and
was
no.
some okay
Yes and
TV
no.
though.
Oh yeah, there's
There was
plenty of
some
great
okay
TV out
stuff.
there.
Yeah. Even I like some of it. Not much.
Well, I just finished Alice in Borderland season 2, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that was great. Both of those seasons were great, and I'm really looking forward. I hope they don't screw it up, but the Squid Game 2, really hope they don't screw that up. That will be good if that's coming out next year. I'm praying that'll be good because the first one was magnificent. In fact, I got a Squid Game Player 67 today for $3. So, I'm just a few toys for the studio. That's all.
There was Cobra Kai. That was great.
Cobra Kai, yeah.
And gone probably forever.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we get it back. But
Yeah. But yeah, there's going to be a few things, I'm sure. But yeah, we should probably do a TV roundup at some point.
Yeah, I really enjoyed The Offer. I'm loving
Oh.
Tulsa King right now. Beavis and Butthead was great.
yes,
Yeah, the offer.
Beavis and Butthead was great.
Brilliant. Tulsa King, I think I'm up to date on that, 7 episodes. Yeah.
I think there's 6 or 7 now.
I
Yeah.
think I've done watched
Reacher
7.
was pretty cool. I liked Reacher.
Reacher was great. Terminal List was kick ass with
heard
Taylor
that.
Quiche.
John Carter.
Taylor Quiche is in
Taylor
that.
Quiche was in that. That
That
Canadian.
means I got to
actor, Taylor
watch that.
Quiche.
He's Stacey Quiche's son.
No.
Taylor Eggflan.
Keach? No, I thought you meant Taylor Keach.
It is Taylor Kitsch.
It
It's
is
just a
Taylor
joke
I
between
got you. Oh,
We
okay.
had an
John
in-joke-
Carter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
John
yeah,
Carter. We had an
Okay.
in-joke the other day where we're calling him Taylor Quiche. It's very
Oh.
funny.
And like I made
I heard
him,
that actually.
I
Yeah.
made him Stacey Quiche's son. So
Oh,
Yeah, and because
Sure,
he's
Stacey
Canadian,
doesn't
you
mind.
can get, Canadian, you can get away with the French. You don't have to say egg flan,
Oh.
egg tart. You can say quiche. We have the French. He's Canadian.
He took getting used to as John Carter for me. I didn't really wasn't warm up to him in the role. I love the movie, but he works in the movie. He's fine, but it took me a minute with it the first time I saw it.
That is one of my guilty pleasures. That movie.
I love that movie.
Really love that movie.
And I don't feel any guilt either because I love the books. And yes, it changes some things from the books. It took 100 years to get that movie, if you don't count Tracy Lords and that other guy and that stupid Sci-Fi Channel thing.
Yeah, and I would love it if it had been a success and we'd got more. I would have absolutely loved that.
It's such a shame we didn't get more of those.
Yeah, that was a missed
Mr.
opportunity.
Buttcrack Media sends us in a thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please do. Appreciate that. And with that, I think we're going to wrap this up, boys. What do you think?
Yeah,
Sure.
For sure. I'll go and get
That way we can
something
get out
to
of here before your supper time.
eat.
Yeah.
I can go eat.
Yeah. What do you got coming up, Clobby? You got a special coming up Monday, don't you?
Well, tonight I will be on at 9.
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, of course, with the Clubhouse. It'll be our final Clubhouse of the year with Raquel and Mark. And just hanging out, just saying goodbye to 2022 and talking about various things as usual. And then I'll be hanging out with Nick tomorrow night on Dad Man's channel, of course, before
Friday
that.
nights, yeah.
Talking football on Dad Man's channel before that. And then on Nick's channel later in the Comic Shop Gang.
Yep.
And then Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night I'll count down. It'll probably just be me, just counting down on New Year's Eve, hanging out. Whoever wants to come and hang out.
I'll hang out with you, buddy.
Please do.
I will.
Please
I
do.
might
And
be
Tom,
around.
you're probably busy, but if not, I will
I
definitely
don't know yet.
throw you the invite. So
I could
See,
very well be
I'm
around.
not going out. Probably not going to go out for New Year.
I never do.
Which is, I had plans, but my bag's
Uh-oh.
pretty bad. But what I'm going to, the thing is, I don't have to worry about what I'm going to wear to New Year in my living room. In fact, I might not even go.
Well, I hear you. If you feel like counting them down, I'll probably start like an hour later than usual, and then just count down a couple. Well, just for the night, a little fun, hanging out with the gang.
Yeah.
And then you are the one who has a special Monday,
Well,
70s.
last Monday we had a fantastic show about Dio era Black Sabbath. It was such good fun with Nick Visor was on. This Monday my show will be about Cannon movies. I don't mean Frank Cannon the detective. I mean the movie.
You know what I mean?
get
No,
that
William,
joke out
not
of the
William
way.
Conrad.
No, I'll get that joke out of the way now. Tom might even be on this show. If I knew he's definitely going to be on it, I'd put his picture
I
on
might
this
be, and
thumbnail.
I'm working on a special guest for you. If I can get this
So,
guest for you, I'll definitely be there.
I know. Thank you, Tom. I really do appreciate that. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm started working on the opening montage for it and getting some images together. This is going to be good. And I want to talk about our favourites and our least favourites, but also the ones that didn't happen. Because Canon were great for
Spider-Man and a bunch of other ones. Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Masters of the Universe 2.
There was the Dustin Hoffman mob thing.
Superman 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that'll be a lot of fun. So Monday 3 p.m.
Cool.
I will try to
Excellent.
make some time for that and
And
definitely
I've
get
just
back to you soon.
crossed 700 subscribers. So
Sweet.
Excellent.
thank you to
Congratulations.
everybody for your support.
Yeah. Wow. Excellent.
All right. So with that, I might show up on TNT later. We'll see. If not, I will see you kids on the morning show, hopefully, and take care of yourselves and each other. And
Thank you,
have
buddy.
a happy New Year if I don't see
Happy
you all
New Year,
before then.
everybody.
Here, everybody. Take care.
Night.
Good night.